Hi, I'm Heyzeus, and this video is about the Katowice viewer pass, and in particular, why it's been such a good way to make money, and whether this is something likely to happen again. Now, when I say it's been a good way to make money, I don't mean if you used it. If things went well, you probably made a couple of dollars that way. I'm talking about what would have happened if you held onto one after the major ended, because this is a pass that you could buy for $5 US. Nowadays, it's worth about $20 US, which is quite an increase, and I want to get to the bottom of it. Now, Valve took care to make sure that you had a reason to give them your money for the viewer pass, and whether it was the superficial coins, or the challenges, or the packages, well, it probably varied from player to player, but one thing all of these attractions have in common is that they're basically useless now. All this thing is good for is giving you a bronze coin. So, given that, why would it more than double in price the moment it gets taken off sale? I mean, who is going to buy it at this point? It's got basically no use. Well, there is actually quite a good answer, but to understand it, we need to look at a couple of other things first. Now, these passes, they've attracted a lot of attention because they appear to be a brand new type of investment and they've been explosively profitable. But in a lot of respects, they aren't actually that new, and the explosive prices aren't that new either. Firstly, the viewer pass is literally just a repurposed operation pass. Don't believe me? Upgradable coin, check. Special drops, check. Challenges, check. They're the same thing. And if they're the same thing, well, we can have a look at the prices of operation passes as a guide to what's normal for this sort of item. And what you'll notice is that it's actually normal for these sorts of items to go up in price, and go up in price quite a lot. And this immediately tells you one thing. Despite what I said earlier, people actually do buy these things just for that bronze coin. In fact, they seem to be willing to pay quite a lot to get it. Now, these people are probably for the most part collectors, and it makes sense that you would want all the coins on your profile if you're a collector. I'm not going to knock them over that, but there is another interesting trend here. You see, if we take out the Wildfire and Vanguard passes, you might notice that the passes are getting progressively cheaper and cheaper with every subsequent operation. And this itself is completely normal. The older passes generally come from a time when there was a smaller player base with less people investing, and they've had more time to go up in value anyway. So you'd expect them to be progressively more valuable the further you go back. The problem is though, the Vanguard and Wildfire passes completely wreck this pattern. Now, I've left a dirty great hint on screen about what's going on here. As you're probably noticing, these passes never went on sale and were never as cheap as the other passes as a result. Now, the fact that they weren't as cheap isn't actually the problem here. The problem is that investors would typically wait for passes to go on sale before stocking up, and because Valve pulled the Vanguard and Wildfire passes without doing that, well, there weren't that many passes lying around when they did, and the natural result of that is that these passes ended up being far more expensive than passes from other operations released around the same time. And in fact, if we go a step further and look at the price histories of these passes after they were taken off sale, you can see how the Breakout Pass, which went on sale and which investors had plenty of chances to stock up on, really stagnated in price for quite some time after the operation ended, while as the Wildfire Pass, which was discontinued unexpectedly, shot up in price about 200% the moment Valve stopped selling it, as investors rushed to try and get what passes remained after Valve totally caught them off guard. So there's an obvious difference in what's happened here, but this price trend on the Wildfire Pass, it looks kind of familiar, like I've seen it before. Where did I see something like that? Oh yeah, that's right, the Katowice viewer pass. Now, I'm not being facetious here either. Literally, the exact same thing has happened. Investors were caught off guard and didn't stock up on these things before they were removed, and when they were removed, people rushed in to buy them. And that may sound odd given that these things actually did go on sale. Valve sold them for 50% off for a while, but the issue was, because viewer passes are a new thing, no one really knew when Valve would pull them off sale, or if Valve was going to discount them further. So people hesitated, and that hesitation backfired. I mean, check out this poor guy who refunded 150 of these things the day before they were removed. Fuck. I feel for you, bro, that is rough. But this still allows us to draw two fairly comfortable conclusions here. First of all, if you have a Katowice viewer pass or are looking at buying one, they're probably going to gradually go up in value in the long run if you hold on to them. So they're probably decent long-term investments. Just don't buy these things around the time their price spikes. That's a guaranteed way to lose money. Secondly, next major, people probably aren't going to be caught off guard again, so don't expect a repeat of Katowice's prices. As a species, I think we're pretty stupid, but we're not quite that stupid, and I don't think people are going to get caught off guard again unless Valve really changes things up. Anyway, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment, subscribe. Otherwise, trust the numbers, not your gut. I'm Heyzeus. Thanks for watching. See ya.